I fucking love this movie. Let's do it. So the Night House is about this woman named Beth who is coping with her husband Owen's recent suicide. And in his suicide note he left to her, he said, "You were right. There is nothing. Nothing is after you. You're safe now." And she has no fucking idea what it means. But after she finds it, weird supernatural shit starts happening in the house. One day she's going through his phone and she sees a picture of a woman who looks exactly like her. So she starts to think that he was having an affair before he died. One night she's out with her friend Claire and Beth reveals that she actually was in a car accident and clinically died for 4 minutes. And when she died, she saw nothing. And she had told this to Owen too, and he always disagreed with her and tried to change her mind. Beth also explains that before he died, Owen had been sleepwalking. And it was at the same time that she was suffering from severe depression and she thought that she passed that on to him. That night when Beth's asleep, she's awoken by this presence or this vision and she sees a bunch of bloody women running through the woods. She sees these lights across the way in the woods and goes to investigate. And she finds an exact copy of their house, but reversed. She again sees these visions of these women, but this time with Owen. She passes out, wakes up at home, and ends up going back to find the house again. And she finds it, but this time it's empty. But she does find this weird looking statue. So Beth goes through Owen's stuff and finds that this is actually from one of his occult books, and it's a voodoo doll. And she figures out that through using it, he was trying to trap demonic spirits. On his laptop, she also finds pictures of a bunch of other women that look exactly like her. So Beth goes to the bookstore where Owen got that occult book, and she sees a woman working there who's actually one of the women from Owen's photos. And this woman reveals to Beth that Owen took her to that reverse house in the woods, and he kissed her and then tried to strangle her, but stopped and ended up driving her home. So Beth decides to go back to the reverse house and this time pull up the floorboards, where she finds the bodies of all the women that were in his photos. So he wasn't having an affair, he was just murdering people. Now, throughout this whole time, Beth has been feeling like this invisible presence, and she believes it to be Owen. But at this point, the spirit reveals to her that it's not Owen and actually shows her these visions of Owen murdering these women. After showing her that, the spirit reveals that it's actually nothing, and it's what Beth saw after her car accident when she died. And when Owen was alive, nothing attached itself to him and tried to convince Owen to kill Beth. And instead, he started murdering women that looked like her to try and trick Nothing. But Nothing realized the trick, and when it kept trying to convince Owen to kill Beth, Owen instead killed himself. Now, the next morning, Claire shows up at the house and finds Beth in the boat that Owen killed himself out on the lake. And with her, she also has the gun that Owen used to kill himself. So she, of course, assumes that Beth is about to do the same exact thing. Now, at this point, we see things from Beth's perspective where she is in Nothing's dimension. And Nothing is now trying to convince Beth to kill herself to join it and come back to me. You're already here. You belong to me. And it's just this super tense, climactic moment where you don't know what Beth is going to do. And she ends up putting the gun down and deciding not to kill herself. When she does that, she returns to the real world and she sees Claire coming out to save her. And when they get back to shore, Beth stares out at the boat and sees the outline of Nothing. And Claire says, "There's nothing there." And Beth says, "I know." It's a beautiful movie.